Michelle Prince, founder and CEO of Performance Publishing Group, making a difference one story at a time. We'll be shining the light on successful founders, entrepreneurs, business owners, and leaders that are getting results and making a difference. We'll talk about how they built their businesses, are creating movements, and leveraging the power of authority in their own lives. Be sure to stick around to the end of the show, and we'll reveal how you can be our next guest. Let's get started. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Power of Authority Spotlight, where we shine the light on entrepreneurs, business owners, ministries, people that are doing amazing things. They're sharing their story. They're making a difference. And I cannot wait for you to meet our guest today because she is making a difference in a big way here in the local Dallas-Fort Worth area. But first, this episode is brought to you by Performance Publishing. If you've ever thought about writing a book but don't know where to start, head on over to performancepublishinggroup.com, where you can schedule a free strategy call just to talk about options, what may be your best next step. And we'd sure love to help you get that book out of your head and onto paper. All right, well, let's dive into the show. And I want to introduce you to my guest, Natalie Huscheck, who is the founder of the Dignity Project. It's a 501c3. And under this nonprofit, she has 2 DBAs, Well-Grounded Coffee, as well as Well-Rounded Pizza, which I love both of those titles. Her life's path has led her out of darkness and onto the mission of lifting others out of darkness. She hires, trains, and journeys with those emerging from prison, addiction, abuse, and various types of trauma. She lives in Dallas, Texas, right down the street from me, and her husband, she has a husband, Michael, and they have 8 children together. Wow. Welcome to the show, Natalie.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
I'm excited you're here. So we've had an opportunity to get to know each other over the last couple of months. And, we are going to be talking about a book that you recently published, but I really want to dive into your life mission. And that's what this ministry and everything that you're doing to support these women who have been through different scenarios, whether it's going through prison, coming out of prison, abuse, trauma, all those different things we talked about. But how did you get this heart and this passion to want to help people in those situations?
Yeah, Michelle, really, it was in my own dark season of life, just coming out of a divorce. Suddenly, I was a single mom and had experienced some abuse, definitely depression, anxiety. And in that darkness, I sensed that God said to me, I will show you how to lift other women out of darkness. And honestly, at that moment, I had no idea how to get out of darkness myself, much less how in the world would I ever help anyone else. But through prayer and journaling and time, God just would give me different pieces of the puzzle. And one of the biggest ones was the coffee house when we opened it and started partnering with several transitional homes that lift up marginalized women. And that began we're 3 years in now, and just an amazing learning journey, victory journey, I would call it, and just linking arms with other women and walking into just a different kind of light, or a different kind of life full of hope and light.
Mm.
Definitely.
What was the time period from the time you were in darkness to today?
About 15 years today. So kind of really concretely planning the store. So it was about a decade. And then, opened up really in the middle of the pandemic, ironically. But again, not just these women, but we all needed hope at that stage in this world. And so people were ready to start breaking out a little bit into safe spaces. And we were able to create a really warm, safe space here at the coffee house.
Why coffee? Where did that come into play?
Really, we could have opened any kind of store that created a path for these women. But my husband and I are coffee freaks. We love coffee. So it just made sense. And plus, coffee brings people together. Coffee creates conversation. And so for so many reasons, it was a thing we were going to do.
Oh, I love that so much. And, one of the things when we first talked, I remember thinking, there's a lot of ministries out there. There's a lot of wonderful things that organizations and people do to lift people up, people that similar women, marginalized women, people who have been in darkness, or maybe they're still in darkness. And but this is doing something a little bit different, I feel, because you're not just helping them, giving them some money or giving them some direction or some. You're literally giving them a path to build their future. So talk about that and what really well grounded coffee does for these women.
Yeah, it's very holistic. When I hire somebody, we call ourselves a sisterhood.
Mm,
So we do life together and we provide lots of support. Some of it's just organic, elbow to elbow, pulling shots of espresso and sharing our stories with each other. But also very practical resources like dental services, or we have a stylist, hairstylist who offers the girls services, and then, of course, case management, mentoring. Um, we really just journey life with
mm,
them. And we talk about practical things like how you move from all that trauma and potentially having been victimized, but
mm,
not stay in a victim mindset, but actually move toward a mindset of victory, or move from a scarcity mentality to an abundance mentality, right? Things that we're all learning.
mhm,
But for them, it's very real because of the trauma, the abuse, the addictions.
mm.
So yeah, all of those things, very holistic.
And do they, when they learn about your program, is it like an interview process like you would for a job, or is there some sort of another way that people can get involved?
It is an interview process, but usually it looks like the transitional homes that we partner with reaching out and saying, I have someone who's job ready. And then we start the process of interviewing, because these are critical skills. Even if we don't end up thinking it's a great fit on for one or the other, for us or them, they've gone through a formal interview process, and we can teach them from that.
Mm,
And so we do tell them, though, this is not just a job. It's so much more. We really are a program. We are a job, but a very full program that we stay together for at least 2 years.
mm,
At 2 years, they know how to run this place. I mean, inventory, financials, of course, coffee, food, all the things. And at that point, they know whether they want to graduate within, and several of them have, and
mhm,
become on our leadership team and mentor other women, or graduate without. And we've had several of those as well. One was hired into an accounting office because we helped her start taking college classes. Another was hired into the offices of a local nonprofit. And so she's helping marginalized women who have been sex trafficked. And
mm.
so, yeah, they will either way be so equipped to keep moving into a life full of hope.
That's amazing. I and this, like you were saying, that you share life together, you share your stories, and there are so many stories. Let's talk a little bit about some of the stories, your baristas and your own story. And you've recently taken all those stories and put them into a book. So let's
Yeah.
talk about that. Tell everybody about your book and the kind of stories that they can find.
Yes, about 1 year into being open as a coffee house, we had shared our stories with each other, and once in a while, different parts at events. But we realized it would be helpful to put our stories in a book so that we could give more hope, especially to women who are in dark places, depression, anxiety, prison, addiction centers. And so we were able to, you actually helped us to put together our book. It's hard to see, but up close you can see the girls all gave permission for their mug shots to be put in, but also a recent picture of how beautiful they are. And
Mhm.
these are the journeys, each of our journeys from darkness into light and hope. And each time we sell a book, we also gift a book to someone who is in recovery, in prison, and needs that hope. But I believe would give hope to anybody. I mean, I don't think many people live on this planet without experiencing a little bit of darkness or anxiety or depression. So I think a lot of people have shared that they've really been encouraged by the stories.
Yeah, and I love the title, But God, because
Mhm.
like you said, I mean, you don't have to necessarily have gone through, been in prison or had an addiction, but we've all had those but God moments where it's like, "This can't be happening to me," you know? And so just to know that there's hope and all of that. What's one of your favorite stories from the
Mm,
book? And I know you love them all, but which is
I
what
do. I love all of them. I love all of them. I love to tell Hannah's story because when Hannah I hired from a transitional home called Exodus Ministries, so she came straight out of prison, and what they do is they give these women an apartment, they reunite them with their children, and they give them a year of to live and learn life skills, and then they send them out to get a job, which before the coffee house looked like fast food, and so not necessarily a career path. So we were able to do offer something better. So I hired Hannah, and she was kind of a jokester and a sidekick to some of the other baristas, and we like to laugh and have fun. But
Yeah.
I honestly I wasn't sure if Hannah was ready to make some of the hard sacrifices required to not cycle back into prison. You
Mhm.
know, recidivism is real, it's strong, the force of it is. And so we really are here to interrupt that. And I wasn't sure that she was prepared to have that interrupted and really make sacrifices. And about 3 months in, we were having an event, and somebody came to interview the girls, and the lady says to Hannah, Hannah, what happened in your life? Did you fall in with the wrong crowd? And Hannah says, oh, no, ma'am, I was the wrong crowd.
Mm.
And at that moment, watching her, you could tell I get emotional, watching her own that and not blame somebody else, I knew she was ready. And I
Mm.
started challenging her to lead the other women, to mentor the other women. Hannah's been with me 3 years. She graduated within, and she's on the leadership team. In fact, she is the senior um, barista here. And we're getting ready to open. We have an opportunity to open a second store, and Hannah will take a team, and she will lead that store.
Oh
So
my gosh, I actually have chills.
I know. It's exciting to watch somebody go from a jokester out of prison to regaining custody of both of her boys, getting a house, getting on her feet, not blaming other people, but saying, I see this opportunity. I'm going to step up to it. I had to tell her for quite a while she was a leader. She kept saying, I'm not a leader. I'm not a leader. I said, well, here's the thing, people are following you. So you are a leader.
Yes.
And she stepped up onto the leadership team. Now she's about to run her own store. So it's great.
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, that's life changing. I mean, but I also, I'm hearing it in your voice and I can see your eyes too. It's not just life changing for her.
Exactly right, you know? And here I'm gonna get emotional again, but this work that I do, it has healed me. It
Mm.
is my path to healing, serving other women. And so I think that's true for all of us. When we're able to think of other people, pour ourselves out for other people, it heals us. It's
Yeah.
the medicine we need. And it very much has been in my life.
Mm. I
Mm.
love it. So people that obviously you're helping those that can come through the program, but
Mhm.
there are also people that want to just serve. They want to be a part of, they don't have maybe the vision or the wherewithal to even know where to start to help these women. So can other people come alongside you to support them? And if so, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, for sure. Well, buy a book.
I was going to say it if you didn't.
Or 3 or 4. For sure. Start a monthly donation. We have people who donate $5 a month, and it goes a long way because paying salaries, selling coffee and paying salaries is one thing, and that fulfills the mission. But we want to do so much more. Like we do car matching bonuses at the point where someone's been with us for about 6 months and they've been riding the bus. We and they have saved up, will match up to $2,500, and we want to have those extra funds to match their 2,500 and get them, a really good used vehicle and get them off the bus system. So these extra things that we do with the women when they finish the transitional home, it's a big leap from living free in a program to moving out into Dallas and making it work. And so we walk that transition with them. And so all those extra things are monthly donors, whether it's $5 a month or 20 or $100 a month, they fill that gap and really help us
Mm.
to help these women and walk with them.
And where can they get the book? Is it on the website Well Grounded Coffee?
It's on wellgrounded.coffee for sure. It's here at the store if you're local, come in because we love to meet you. And then Amazon, Barnes and Noble, you'll find it about anywhere, and it's called But God.
Before we go on, and I'm pulling it, I want to make sure, before we move past the what all you're doing, let's talk about the pizza.
Ah,
It was in the bio, and I want to know more. Is that already in place? Is that coming?
it's really just a after hours. We wanted to extend our hours and we wanted to more hiring opportunities. So it's still here at the coffee house. And so we've extended our hours into the evening and offered this amazing pizza because it's all local ingredients. A local bakery makes this gorgeous focaccia bread.
Ooh,
And then I don't know if you're familiar with Jimmy's Italian grocery store. It's kind
no.
of a Dallas icon. Yeah, you need a road trip. And so
Okay.
they do all the toppings, mozzarella and the fresh, they hand make their sausage and pepperoni. And
Ooh,
then a local pizzeria home makes our the pizza sauce. So we pull in all of our local partners that we can and make this really fun pizza. And then we've grown our mission and been able to hire a few more women and yeah,
that
pizza.
is, I love that. And it's brilliant too, because like you said, with a coffee shop, a lot of times people think morning, afternoon, but
Uh-huh.
not everybody likes it at night. I know I can't drink coffee at night because I will be up all night.
Right.
But giving women the opportunity to work at night with the pizza, I love that.
Yeah. So that's fun. And then now we'll have our third business, but it'll be actually be a different location down in Bishop Arts.
Oh, what a great area too.
Yeah. Fun.
Well, everybody definitely go to wellgrounded.coffee for a couple of reasons. One, go there and buy the book. And here's why. This is not just to benefit, Natalie or the coffee shop. This is to benefit all of the stories in this book are of amazing women whose stories need to be told, and they're doing the work and they're making an impact. But it's not just about the book because when you buy one, they're going to gift one. So books going to prisons, to these transition homes, it matters because there's somebody there that has absolutely no hope. And maybe they don't have any money either. So if a gifted book can get into their hands, then it makes all the difference. And I know you've already done a lot of books, over 100 books gifted just so far. And you just launched the book. So I'm
We're just weeks in and we've already gifted dozens and dozens. So that's really fun for us.
It's amazing. And the other reason to go to the website, wellgrounded.coffee, is some of the stories are on there. So some of the success stories and the mission behind all this. And I know, I've yet to meet a person in life that doesn't deep down want to make a difference, that doesn't
Mhm.
want to help in some way. We're created that way. We're created to want to serve, to help others. But sometimes we don't know where to go or where to start. And unfortunately, Natalie, we don't all have the vision that you have to start something like this. So what a great way to go grab a cup of coffee or, buy the book, do anything you can to support a mission and a ministry like this. Cause I see what you're doing and I know you're doing great things in our area. And I'm going to put it out there and maybe beyond. This may start in Dallas, but why can't it continue to grow? You never know.
Why not?
What else? We're already running out of time, but I want to know what else. Anything else you want to share, either about the ministry, about the book, or anything about what you're doing for somebody who's listening that may either know somebody who's going through a transition in life, or maybe it's themselves. Anything that you can offer for them.
There's hope. You're not alone. Also, what would also help and be wonderful is we're looking for opportunities to share our testimonies in groups, clubs, churches, wherever we can share our testimony to give hope. Um, we would love to. We would love to come to you and just share our stories live and be there to answer questions, pray, whatever that might look like.
Absolutely. And there's so many opportunities. So those listening who have some connections, definitely reach out to Natalie again through wellgrounded.coffee. And that's I'm just so excited and I can't wait to see what's going to come of all the growth and the new location and everything else you're doing.
Hey, thanks for your partnership, Michelle.
Oh, of course, I'm honored more than you know. So thank you. And all right, well, that's it for today's show. So I'm just going to wrap it up with just encouraging those of you who are listening. Natalie's done an amazing job with her husband to start something like this, but really, we can all do this. We can all find something that we're passionate about. And it doesn't have to be huge. It can be something small, but maybe it's just the $5 a month. Maybe it's just buying the book, or maybe finding another opportunity to start your own nonprofit in your own local community. But do something, because that is what we were created to do. And again, as a reminder, when you buy one book, they're going to gift one to somebody else. So it's probably one of the best opportunities to be a part of something that's really changing lives. So that's it for the show. And I just want to encourage you to take action on whatever is being stirred up in this show, because I guarantee maybe something is triggering you to think, you know what, I am going to reach out to them. Again, wellgrounded.coffee. And we'll see you next time on the Power of Authority Spotlight. Bye, everybody. Thanks so much for listening to the Power of Authority Spotlight. If you are a successful founder, entrepreneur, business owner, or leader that's getting results and making a difference, and you'd like to be on this program, please visit performancepublishinggroup.com/podcast to apply. That's performancepublishinggroup.com/podcast. Also, if you got something out of this interview, please share this episode. Just do a quick screenshot with your phone and text it to a friend, or post it on the socials. If you know someone that would be a great guest, tag them on social media to let them know about the show, and include the hashtag #ThePowerOfAuthoritySpotlight. I love seeing your posts and guest suggestions. We are regularly putting out new episodes and content, so make sure you don't miss any episodes by subscribing. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show and mean a lot to me and my team. Want to know more? Go to our websites, performancepublishinggroup.com or michelleprince.com, and follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.